Here we are at the Chicagoland Speedway for our next stop on the Gatorade Cup Series schedule. It's the Geico 400. And on the poles, Derek Bouchard in the 17, subbing for the injured Larry Bouchard Jr., who's outside the 96 of Stephen Baker. Then in 30 of Jake West, fourth is Jeff Bright, and Nathan Stapleton rounds out the top five. His teammate starting sixth just who's outside Sebastian Chicagoland. In seventh of Joe Jefferson, eighth is Danny Lloyd, Jonathan Beeford in ninth, and Taylor Ryan Price rounds out the top 10. The rest of the field is Jake Gowing in the 11 with Mac Johnson in the 24. Then there's Eli Bryant in the 88 with Carson Bowers in the 6. They have Max Anderson and Derek Hamill. Then there's Riley Sampson and James Stablito. Dale Lightning and Patrick Smith. They have Johnny Gardner and Jay Jefferson. Steve Morgan and John Gambit. They have TJ Hanley and Carter Friesen, along with Griffin Lynn and Jonathan Rains. Alexander Rowe and Jack Marshall. They have Trey Rainey and Justin Zidell. Steve Larker and Isaac Nichols. They have Colton Yo and Benny Watson. Points there, Louis Jack Tavo starting back here. He's won here at Chicagoland before, though. Stephen Taylor to his inside. They have Luke Rainey and Diego Yepez. And in the final row, Cole Luigi in the 42, Tyler Fink in the 21 to his outside lane. That is the starting lap here at Chicagoland. Let's get down to it. Let's get that starting command.
In honor of the Highway Patrol's 75 years of service, gentlemen, start your engines.
Guys, let's go out there and have some fun today. Just like I said today in the meeting, you know, this is a good racetrack. It's a good place for us. I think the pit crew is ready to go. Let's go have some fun.
And all 40 cars are off the starting grid for the start of the Geico 400 here at Chicagoland. We've seen amazing races here in the past. We've seen wild moments, leaders getting taken out by lap cars. We've seen leaders hitting each other, making contact, cars getting spun down to the apron but saving it. We've seen big crashes, horrible flips. What will we see here today after 41 laps? Derek Bouchard, 7 for Larry Bouchard Jr. on the pole in the 17 car. He'll lead us to the green flag. Stephen Baker, truck winner here a few days ago to his outside lane. We are racing at Chicago. Green flag is in the air. For the race off into turn 3, Jake West pulls alongside Derek Bouchard and clears him. Now Jeff Bright forces a hole down low to try and get to this race off of 4, lap 1. Going to be led by Jeff Bright in the 5 from the 4th starting position. He got down to the inside in turns 1 2. He made stick in 3 and 4 to lead lap number 1. Here comes Nathan Stapleton in the 27th. Joe Jefferson behind in the 41. And Jonathan Beeford as well on the bottom lanes. They come down the backstretch. Side by side. Stapleton and Jeff Bright. Joe Jefferson waiting there. Can he make a move? Here comes Jefferson. He's looking low. A little tight down low. Some contact made further back. Jeff Bright into the wall hard. West into the back room. They sort it all out. And they're side by side. Stapleton leads by a nose. Jonathan Beeford looking to make it 3 wide up into turn 1. Big move there. Still side by side with Joe Jefferson. Eli Bright, Stephen Baker have come up to the front. Baker has found his way down to the bottom lane after starting second. And down the backstretch, off into turn 3. Joe Jefferson has a nice gap. Jonathan Beeford trying to get there to the bottom lane. He's looking down there. Off of 4. Can't get there. And off into turn 1. Stapleton looks for second. Joe Jefferson might go 3 wide. Or, excuse me, that's Jake West in the 14. Cars are pretty similar. And Stapleton get clear of that 33. Jake West pushing him forward. Eli Bright, Stephen Baker have joined this battle. Look at that. Oh, sliding up for Stapleton after 3 wide move from Jake West. They're 4 wide further back. Jay Jefferson, Jeff Bright, Derek Bouchard, Patrick Smith. How are they going to get this sorted out? Can they get it sorted out? It's like they're good. 3 wide again. Jefferson coming up to the front of the 78. Digging hard in the bottom lane. He has Steve Morgan behind in the 13. As West trying to go for the race. And his teammate Joe Jefferson down the backstretch. Side by side, 2 Stewart Haas racing cars. Baker contact with Eli Bright. Slides that 80 up the racetrack. From the 2nd starting position, Stephen Baker will get back to 2nd. Jake West leads. And your pull series falling back. They're going to put in that 4 wide situation on the outside lane, falling back. Now Stapleton goes for 2nd. Digging hard in the bottom lane. Jonathan Beeford behind him. Contact there. Joe Jefferson, Eli Bright, James Stablito getting close and physical. Eli's going to try and get clear and get back down to the bottom lane. As look at this, 3 wide. Baker goes up the track. Beeford to the middle. Eli couldn't keep it down there. Ooh, Baker got into the wall pretty hard. Smith is into the wall. Down the front stretch, 4 cars pull away, led by Jake West. And now for third, Eli Bright on underneath Jonathan Buford and the 33. Stapleton keeping it in second. Now down the backstretch they race. Back here, Carter Friesen trying to get his way inside the top 5, going for 5th. He has Jake Galloway behind him and Jay Jefferson. Galloway's going to make it 3 wide. Gets tight down low. Stabilio gets clear on the top side. Open into the wall. Jonathan Buford into the wall hard as well. Slows up everyone. Friesen trying to get going on the outside with Stephen Baker. 3 cars break away. Stabilio to the middle lane. Galloway down low, 3 wide. Jay Jefferson doesn't make it 4 wide. It's getting tight off of 2. Close racing. Galloway and Stabilio almost hitting each other. 4th, second, Eli Bright and Stapleton. But look at this. 4 wide down the back. Can they get it sorted out through 3 and 4? Still rubbing Buford and Friesen. Cars to the apron trying to avoid contact. Colton Young through the middle of all of it. There's Zeidel in the apron back there. Now into the apron entering turn 1. Slides up. Slows the inside lane down. And now the pack is split up. It definitely spread out the front as well. Jake West has gotten away with Eli Bright and Nathan Stapleton as they battle for 4th on back. West, Bright, Stapleton, 1, 2, 3. For 4th, it's Joe Jefferson and Jay Jefferson. Colton Yo there. And the 37 coming out of nowhere. He's looking to make it 3 wide. Jay Jefferson knocks the wall down hard. Buford and the 33 back into the outside wall. As Yo looks for that 4th position. Is up front. Eli Bright on the back bumper of Jake West. He's been gaining lap after lap. And now lower than West as they come off turn number 2. And beside him down the backstretch, side by side. He's pulling him. He has a run. Off into turn 3. Side by side still. Well, let's bring Stapleton into the battle. This side by side. Eli Bright trying to clear Jake West through 3 and 4. And he does. West gets to the outside wall. New race leader, Eli Bright. Now out front the Geico 400 at Chicagoland. And the pack is really spread out there because of what has happened back here. It's 6 cars, single file. 7th on back in the battle. Derek Bouchard trying to regain the ground that he lost after starting on pole. He is underneath Joe Jefferson, but Jefferson's teammate Stabilio looks to make it 3 wide. That's 3 Ford Fusions and a 3 wide madness. The other teammate to the 10, the 41, is Jake West. He's side by side with Eli Bright again for this race lead. So side by side, Colton Yo is gained from 4th, and Stapleton is 3rd. So it's a 4-car breakaway. Friesen's up to 5th. Galloway is 6th. Derek Bouchard 7th. Stabilio in 8th. Jay Jefferson is up to 9th, and it's the battle for 10th. Yepez and Joe Jefferson side by side. Your points leader, Luigi Octavio, is just a few cars behind this battle. He's broken his way inside the top 20. He's going to be going for a top 15 here in a few moments. He's sticking hard in this bottom lane. 3 wide on Isaac Nichols and Jonathan Buford. They slide up. They keep it going. Buford once again to the outside wall. That 33 has looked tight all race. Look at that damage to the 41 after nailing the wall a few times. The battle's up here. But up front, for 2nd, Colton Yo and Eli Bright, side by side. Stapleton, Carter Friesen, 4th and 5th, just lurking behind this front 3 battle. And Jake West looks like he has had one of the better cars here today. Let's see if he can keep it up towards the front, though. Obviously, pit stops are going to be an issue. If a yellow comes out, that'll be a restart. But with how spread out the field is, I don't know if a yellow will be coming out. For 4th, Carter Friesen and Nathan Stapleton side by side moved the 38 car up to 4th. Stapleton back to 5th. And the 27, he has some damage to the right side that could make the car a little bit tighter. Once you get into the wall a few times and you have that type of damage, the car's obviously going to be tighter and a lot harder to handle. Colton Yo digging hard. He's on Jake West, looking a little bit lower than him as they come off turn number 4. Right on his tail. Off into turn 1. He's looking to the inside. For this race lead, Colton Yo, Jake West side by side. This could allow Eli Bright, Carter Friesen to close in. Still side by side as they come off turn number 2. No advantage there. Side by side, dead even down the backstretch. Look at the run that Eli Bright has in the 88 with that draft. They were going about 192, and Eli was 195 off into turn number 3. He was flying. West into the outside wall hard. Eli Bright trying to take advantage down low, but he couldn't get it done. West blocks that off. Now Eli to the bottom off into turn 1. Carter Friesen with him. Does Friesen make a 3 wide move? Colton Yo's gotten away with the race lead. They're 3 wide for 2nd. Eli Bright, Carter Friesen, Stapleton, West. 4 cars under a blanket for 2nd. 6th is Stabilito. Octavio's up to 7th, trying to extend that points lead. How about Benny Watson going for 8th? So some drivers who have not mentioned at all here today, they're moving up towards the front. They've kept their cars clean and in one piece, and that's why they're moving up towards the front. Eli got into the wall a little bit as they came off turn number 4. Some damage there. He's fallen back behind Friesen and Stapleton. Now Jake West moved around him. 5 cars once again broke away from 6th on back. There's Octavio still moving forward for 6th on Stabilito. He won at Chicagoland last season driving the 00 car. Here he is now up to 6th. after starting at the back of the field and in the outside row. Ooh, some cars bounce off the wall hard there. Lynn was sideways with Derek Bouchard. They saved their cars. That could have been bad. That could be a yellow flag. Keep going straight. The damage to some of these cars absurd after hitting the wall so many times that they come off turn number 4. Derek Bouchard, your pole is still struggling, falling back. Up there, Jake West in a fight with Nathan Stapleton. Front 4 pulled away. Eli Bright's 5th. Carter Friesen further race down Colton Yo. Side by side, down the front stretch. Advantage to Carter Friesen at the line. He leads lap number 18. Now we're on lap 19. Still side by side. They're side by side for 3rd. Eli Bright 5th has gained now. He's gotten back. Carter Friesen clears Yo. He slides up in front. Look at the crossover on Colton Yo down to the bottom lane. Still side by side. Jake West up to 3rd. Eli Bright back to 4th. Stapleton is 5th. Now Eli for 3rd. Friesen to the outside wall. Eli Bright gains. With a run he goes, but can't get beside Friesen as the 38 comes down to cover the spot. Now Eli trying to get by Carter Friesen to move himself up into the top 2 again. Colton Yo's pulled away for 3rd. And now Stapleton for 2nd. A little tight down low. Can't get beside Eli. Has no help down low. Eli keeps 2nd. Stapleton for 3rd. Jake West. And how about Lou Jack Taylor? He's closing in like a bullet. He's closing in this front 5. He's 6th. He has a great shot getting this thing done and extending that points lead. He's up now. 6-car breakaway. Could be 7 in a short bit. Alexander Rowe's been on the charge. Bowers and Stablio side by side for 8th and 9th. Benny Watson, Steve Morgan in a battle for the top 10. Griffin Lynn, Joe Jefferson, some others that are moving up or down the rankings. Still battling as Octavio going to the outside of Stapleton. He actually did a pretty good job of keeping up there and getting a pretty good run, but into the outside while he goes, he'll drop back possibly behind Alexander Rowe now. As 17 was a run into the 83. Is up here for 2nd. Friesen Eli Bright, nose to tail with 20 laps to go. Colton Yo in 1st, hoping that they start battling behind, slow each other down. He can pull away, but look at that. The 88 got such a great run off the top side that and we have a car stalled on the track. It's Max Johnson, the 24. Yep, no yellow yet. We're still green flag racing. Colton Yo got to the outside wall. Jake West gets to 3rd. Carter Friesen really bounced off the outside wall as Eli into the back of Colton Yo, moving to the inside to turn 1. Side by side with the 37 car into 1 and 2. Beside him, still side by side. Can't get by him quite yet. And Jake West will have that huge run that we mentioned of cars being side by side. 193. These guys went 190 off into turn 3 and 4. 3-car breakaways for 4th. It's a side-by-side battle. Carter Friesen and Nathan Stapleton. Eli Bright clears. Your new race leader side-by-side for 2nd. Jake West trying to get by Colton Yo in the 37. And it's spread out through the field. And you can see Jonathan Raines, Riley Sampson. They've knocked the wall down most of anyone. You can see right there with the damage on their cars. And then some guys just stuck at the back, starting in the back, or they've fallen back with that damage, and they can't really make their moves forward. As damage a really big thing here at Chicagoland. You have to really try and keep it out of the outside wall as much as you can. You don't want to get damage, because if you have a pit stop, you're obviously going to want to repair that damage, pull the fenders out. It'll take a little bit more time compared to someone who maybe just slightly tapped the wall or hasn't even tapped the wall. Eli still in control. Colton Yo back up to 2nd. Jake West 3rd. It's the same top 5 that we've been seeing. Now for 6th. Octavio's nailed the wall a few times. He's kind of gotten slowed. Alexander Rowe for that 6th position with Carson Bowers-Byram is up front again. Side by side. Yo and Eli Bright again. 3 wide back there. Octavio back into the outside wall. Colton Yo clears again. Eli can move up out of the way of Jake West. Off into turn 1. West beside Eli. Gonna get by him. And now Stapleton for 3rd. Eli Bright still fitting in the 88. See how one tap of the wall really hurts your momentum. Close there. Stapleton a little tight. Eli trying to keep it down lower so he doesn't nail that wall. Does a great job of that. Jake West really the only one that got into the wall among the front 5. 15 laps to go. We've been caution-free this race. And now 3 wide for this 3rd position. Friesen, Stapleton, and Eli Bright in a battle. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th on track. 1st and 2nd have gapped themselves with Colton Yo and Jake West. Oh! Stapleton's heading to the pits and really slowed everyone up. Eli Bright and Carter Friesen had to take evasive action. That was from the outside lane. Contact made as cars are slowing down as green flag pit stops are underway, but this could cause a yellow flag with how some of these drivers are cutting across the pits. to get to pit road. You can see how much it really slowed up. Friesen and Eli Bright, they are almost out of contention now unless a yellow flag comes out, unless something happens to these front two. It's a race now, I think, between West and Colton. I just don't see anyone else being able to close in that much. Front two head into the pits. Eli Bright was well, contact! Morgan going around the 13. Will this bring out yellow flag? Sideways in the track. No yellow yet. We're still racing. Look out, slowed up Bowers and Hanley. Trey Rainey has stayed out. Steven Taylor has stayed out. Marshall has stayed out. 5 cars stay on the racetrack, led by Hanley in the 23. And that yellow could have been their biggest savior, but they did not get it, as Morgan was sideways on the track, but no yellow flag was called. Now this could be an issue as well. Hanley cuts to the pits. Bowers stays out. Rainey, and it's only Bowers that has to stay on the racetrack now. He's open for a yellow flag or something. This is some insane strategy. We'll see how it works out, though. Colton Yo's exited the pits with the race lead. And not many more with them. Now let's see how this all cycles out once green flag pit stops are over. See if Bowers yields to come in this time. It looks like he will. So 6 cars hitting the pits. So that should leave the race lead in the hands of Colton Yo, maybe Benny Watson. Well, we're just going to have to see how this all cycles out in terms of damage and whatnot, where everyone's going to be at. So there's Colton Yo flying by a few drivers that have either been lapped or stayed out or something with that damage. So I believe Colton Yo should be the race leader once it all cycles through. You can see Tyler Fink coming out of the pits there on the inside lane. Yo's going to go to the outside, try and get by him and clear him. I think that the big thing there was Colton Yo kept his car clean, and that's why he's probably out there ahead of most of these drivers. So I think the only driver that was ahead of him, 24 is a clutch issue. That's why he was stopped on the track. The only car that was ahead of him was the 6 of Carson Bowers. He's flown on by him. I don't know who second is going to be now, as a lot of these drivers are trapped 1 lap down due to damage. You can see all these drivers are laps down, I believe, and the 22 looks off pace of Jack Marshall. Second may be TJ Hanley in the 23, actually, once it all cycles through. Yeah, the 22 is something wrong. Jack Marshall is slow. So your leader is Colton Yo in the 37. There are currently 18 cars now in the lead lap. Due to some people getting damaged, have to pit longer. And now the drivers without damage, they're in good shape. And that's why Colton Yo has a pretty big size lead over the rest of the competition. At 7 seconds back to TJ Hanley in the 23. But Hanley does have a few laps fresher tires. We'll see how that plays out. Octavia, your points there back to 23rd. It's a wild Chicagoland race. So Hanley's second. Steven Taylor's up to third. Fourth is now Steve Morgan. Fifth is Dale Lightning. In sixth, you have Justin Zeidel. Seventh is Code Luigi. Then eighth is Danny Lloyd. Johnny Gardner's ninth. Stapleton is 10th. Anderson, 11th. 12th, Bowers. 13th, Rowe. 14th, Rainey. Trey, that is. 15th, Eli Bright. 16th, Griffin Lynn. 17th, Diego Yepes. 18th, Tyler Fink. Those are your lead lap cars currently. As Hanley's trying to cut into the lead of Colton Yo. It's down to 7 seconds. It was about 7.5 a few laps ago. I don't know if he has enough time, though. 7 seconds is a lot to make up. Something would have to happen big to Colton Yo if he really wants to catch. But that could help, though, again, into the outside wall. We'll see where Hanley is in terms of traffic and whatnot. He has a lot of cars in between he and next place Colton Yo. So let's see. 7 seconds last time by. And Hanley, in traffic, is now 6.8, but he's under attack now from Jake Galloway. I don't think there's a way unless Yo gets wrecked or has something bad go wrong with his car. I really don't think anyone can catch Colton Yo. I believe this may be the 37 cars race. He's been close to Gatorade Cup Series points-paying victories before. He hasn't got one. His only Gatorade Cup Series victory came in the All-Star Open. Got him into the All-Star race. He was about less than a lap away from winning at Las Vegas last season. It was dumped by the 47 of Kyle Perry from the race lead. And could never really recover from that. Could never win a race after that. And now he has a good-sized lead over TJ Hanley, a little more than 6 seconds. He has to make around 5 more laps without any contact, without any issue, and he'll be a Gatorade Cup Series winner. As he comes off of 4, he sees 5 laps to go, and that's a big thing for him. If the yellow comes out, the race is over. So he knows the yellow comes out, he won't have to deal with a restart with maybe some drivers on his bumper where he could get shoved to the outside lane. He just has to hope that nothing happens to that 21 from him, nothing happens where he gets into the wall, nothing happens where a crash happens and he somehow gets involved in it. He has a good gap over Hanley, 6.81 back. That 23 car is back here. Taylor's nowhere near. Dale Lightning, Morgan, two teammates. There's Code Luigi. And the rest of the lead lap cars. See how this race is just turned upside down by green flag pit stops, and that damage to the cars suffered from hitting the turn 4 wall. Oh, Yo's blown up! Colton Yo is blowing up! Your race leader, we said nothing had to happen, he would get it done, and now it's going to be a battle! Colton Yo, so close, so many times, and it's not going to happen once again! That's going to hand the race lead over to two-time winner this season, TJ Hanley. But now, is there oil on the track and Steven Taylor close in? 3 laps to go, and you just do not want to be the leader of this race. Now, this is going to be interesting. Zidell stopped on the track. Hanley had to slow up. Something wrong with the 20 as well. Galloway slow. Now Taylor's going to be stuck on the outside. How's his lap traffic going to deal with this? Marshall, once again, isn't he slower? Did he get that issue fixed? 3 miles left. Hanley, a 2-time winner this season. Colton Yo was looking for his first victory, but the issue has taken him out of this race. And now it's a battle. Piston issue on the 37. We're come to see the white flag. Hanley leads his lap car between he and the 31 Steven Taylor. But if that 11 makes a move, Hanley will be stuck in the outside lane. This is going to be intense. Coming to the white flag. Watson in the wall. Here comes Steven Taylor. Hanley's on the outside lane. Last lap of the Geico 400. Side by side, Steven Taylor with the race lead. Through 1 and 2, 3 wide. He's a little slow. Hanley will have one last shot down the backstretch. For the win, it's the 31 car RCR Chevrolet Steven Taylor. The 23 Toyota of TJ Hanley. Taylor slides up. Will come to the finish line. Will be the 31. Will be the 23. Side by side, it will be Steven Taylor in the 31. What a finish. It looked like it was going to be Colton Yo's. The piston issue. It looked like it was going to be TJ Hanley's. Stuck behind lap traffic. And Steven Taylor out of nowhere steals a victory on a day where he just did not have the best car. Steven Taylor wins the Geico 400 over TJ Hanley and the heartbreak for Colton Yo. Let's now go check the finishing results. Here are the finish results from the Geico 400 at the Chicagoland Speedway. There were no caution flags and 14 lead changes among 10 different drivers. Steven Taylor ekes out a victory over TJ Hanley, who ends up second in this race but closing on the points lead. Dale Lightning ends up third, Steve Morgan fourth, and Danny Lloyd rounds out the top 5. Johnny Gardner gets up to 6th, Cole Luigi in 7th, Alexander Rowe 8th, Eli Bright in 9th, and Nathan Stapleton rounds out the top 10. So there's your top 20. Points leader Luigi Octavo ends up in the 20th position. Decent day. Definitely could have been better. But how about, like, some of these drivers? Eli Bright, right? He was running up inside the top 5 most of the race. Pit stops happened. He had to stay a little bit longer. He fell back to 16th in those final 10 laps. He moves up from 16th to 9th under green flag. That's insane what Eli Bright did right there. Of course, 2 drivers in front of him had some sort of issues with their cars. That's still pretty insane. 24 cars finished on the lead lap. Benny Watson, the first one, lap down 25th. Luke Rainey, 27th. There's your pole there. Derek Bouchard, subbing for Larry Bouchard Jr., trying to knock that rust off. 28th after starting on the pole. Jake Westland, 8 laps. He ends up 33rd. That right side damage probably affected his day. And Colton Yo, dominant car of the day. 17 laps led. Piston issue puts him 40th and out after leading with 3 laps to go. Zidell had some sort of issues. Stopped on the track. Never diagnosed what that was. And Mac Johnson was also stopped on the track, but right about the same spot Zidell was. That was a clutch for the 24 car. Now let's go look at the point standings. Here are the points after Chicago. That definitely shook a lot of points up. Luigi Octavo with that points lead still, but it's only by 55 points over his teammate TJ Hanley, who was second. Sebastian Coquelin is third, Max Anderson is fourth, and Steven Taylor with that win moves up to fifth. Nathan Stapleton sixth, Dale Lightning seventh, Jeff Bryan eighth, Carter Friesen is ninth, and Griffin Lynn is in the top 10. So there's your top 20. Isaac Nichols just outside that top 10. Taylor Brian Price, Trey Rainey, Jake Galloway, John Gammett, Luke Rainey, Riley Sampson, Steve Morgan, Cole Luigi, and Johnny Gardner, your top 20. And no one outside the top 10 points has a win, and they're inside the top 20. The rest of the winners down below the 21st in points standing right here. See Jack Marshall's 27th with a victory. Larry Bouchard Jr.'s 35th. Obviously not racing. That's why he's falling outside the top 20. And most likely his chase chances are done. Some drivers moving up the points list, though, trying to get up there into contention. Eli Bright was down about 40th a few races ago. Now with a few good races up to 26th. You could have a shot to make the chase. But down here, Derek Bouchard, Benny Watson, Jonathan Rains, all these drivers looking to rebound and try and get just wins at this point to see what they can do. Colton, you only have to feel the heartbreak for him. Down 36th in the points. Could have moved up to top 30, maybe even top 20 at that win. Was not meant to be here today. So we head to another 1.5 mile track, which will be the Lone Star State, the Texas Motor Speedway. It's the Ford 500. I'll see you guys then.